Hi, my name is Jeannie McCain. I'm a volunteer at the Highline Heritage Museum. And we're trying to figure out how I got to my second chance at doing things right. I was born in Decatur, Alabama. My dad was a military man. My mother was a housekeeper, a homemaker. And we moved around the country and did the military stuff. And in 1962, they came to Seattle. And I transferred from the University of Pittsburgh to the University of Washington and finished getting a degree. So 1965 comes around and it's a big year. I graduated from college, I got married, and I got a baby blue 65 Mustang Coupe. His name is Henry. Over the next few years, my husband and I had 2 kids, one born in Oklahoma, one born in Maine. It's another military family. Guess I didn't learn someplace along the line about the trials and tribulations of being a military wife. But at least it was familiar to me, and so I knew what to do. In 1982, 1983, someplace in there started being some cracks in my marriage. We just sort of tiptoed around them. And then in the late 80s, we moved to Los Angeles. The company I worked for had a branch down there, so I had a job. And husband moved down there because he took a job with the military down there. 1990, he came home from a trip and allowed us how this wasn't working and I needed to leave. This is 1 month shy of our 25th anniversary. So I put my clothes and my other belongings and my cat in my 65 Mustang and drove back to Seattle. So for the first time in my life, I was no longer a military dependent. I didn't have anybody with me. I didn't have any support. I was all alone, and it was not a fun place to be. So now what you have to do is figure out, okay, we're starting from ground zero. What do we need to do? First thing I needed to do was find me and find out who I was. So I made an appointment with a therapist. And she had worked with our family before, so I didn't have to do all the background stuff for her. She already knew. And we worked a long time for me to figure out what was my fault, what wasn't my fault, and that what wasn't my fault, I shouldn't be worrying about. And that's hard to do. Next thing is to see about getting out into the world. Well, despite being a loudmouth, I'm kind of shy, and meeting people doesn't do well with me. I don't do groups. I'm short. That contributes to some of it. But I'm really sensitive to light and noise, so parties and bars and places like that just aren't my cup of tea. So what do I do? I have a Mustang, so I go to the Mustang Club and spent the next 20 some odd years as part of that group, and that became my family. My kids were grown in a way, so there was just me and the cat and the Mustang folks. I had a job that I loved and a job that I was really good at. And it took me a while to understand that I was good at it. And my skill was that I could organize things. I could get things sorted out, put in the right piles, so that people could get them done. I retired. I retired in 2012. And in the process of that, discovered that what I was really good at was organizing things. I got involved with the museum, started organizing things, and eventually, as we were building this building and moving here, got more and more involved. I also got involved in the VITA program. It's the volunteer income tax program for low-income people, do their taxes for free. I've done that for a number of years now. And I found that my joy in life is helping other people. And so my reincarnation, or the second part of my life, is as a volunteer and as a support person for a lot of people, and to organize things, because that's what I'm good at.